Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to calculate moves in chess. Now, first of all, you have to understand, in calculation, there are two categories. The first one is just candidate moves, okay? There are just a couple of moves that you can choose from that will further improve the position of your pieces. And the second category is just forcing moves. And the moves like you see like in tactics, puzzles, and stuff like that. So first of all, we're going to talk about the candidate moves. They're simply like when you play like an opening like e4, e5, knight to f3, they play knight to c6, they play the bishop here, and they simply, like, let's say they play d6. One of the candidate moves, like you can play c3 to try to strike with d4, controlling the center with your knight defending and the queen. You can try to castle. You can play h3 to stop his bishop from ever pinning your knight to the queen and having to go back to defend the knight. You can play knight out. You can play, whatever thing you may want, okay? All of these are just candidate moves. Any of these moves will not win you the game on the spot. They will just help improve your position or just, activate your pieces. A move like d3 will activate your bishop. A move like knight f3, knight c3 will control the center. A move like c3 is preparing d4 to control the center without having two pawns and controlling a lot of the center, protected by the queen and the knight. All of these are candidate moves, and for him, he can do the exact same thing. Like when you play, let's say you play this move c3, preparing the push d4. Okay, he can play like this move, knight to f6, attacking your pawn on e4. He can play bishop to g4, pinning the knight to the queen. So it will not like really help in supporting the center, this knight, because whenever you take, you will lose your queen. He can play whatever. He can play like reset knight here. He can play bishop to e7, preparing knight there, and just trying to castle. For some reason, he can just play like knight to a5. In some positions, it's possible when the pawn on d3, trying just to take the bishop. So all of these are just candidate moves. You don't need to calculate that much about these moves. They're just simply moves, okay? They're normal moves. They will not win you the game. They will not give you any advantage whatsoever, okay? It's just completely your choice if you choose to take them or not. Here you can play c3 to try to push d4. You can play h3 to stop the bishop from being there. You can try to castle. You can get your knight out. All of these are candidate moves, okay? And they're really simple, and you don't need to spend a second on these moves, okay? You just make whatever move like you feel it's better. Like, do you feel like you want to control the center? Do you feel like you just want to castle your king, get the safety? If you're like you always get annoyed by the bishop being here, so you just play h3. Whatever you do, all of these are just candidate moves. But now we're going to talk about forcing moves, and this where the real fun happens. And for that, we're going to go and check some puzzles. Now, these puzzles are a little bit, higher rated, like 2600, okay? But this does not mean that I am at 2600, okay? I'm in 1850. I'm in 1850 rapid on chess.com, okay? And I'm just gonna share my thought process when I'm trying to solve these puzzles, and hopefully it will help you a little bit in calculation, okay? Because the first category, you don't need that much, you don't need guidance. They're simply candidate moves. Like you can choose between them, and they will simply give you the same advantage. They will not win any advantage with these moves, okay? But in these forcing moves, we're gonna try to solve some puzzles. And sorry, there is no camera for today because I lost the recording of today's video. It was like today, the day 68 of trying to reach 2000 elo. I lost the recording, and the camera is now working. It's just a bunch of stuff. Now we're gonna solve some puzzles. Okay, so here the king just took this pawn. Okay, one of the moves to try to win this is simply calculate. First of all, checks, captures, and attacks. How many check we have? We have check, check, check with the queen. This check will help us win the bishop. Okay, but there's an infinite amount of checks we're gonna get, so maybe we have to play a check. Here, check. He needs to block and he will lose the rook, I guess. So it's check. The queen holds all these squares, so the king is forced to go back to f6. And when he goes to f6, we have the rook to f4. Okay, so he can run away, but that would be another check. I just believe that this is the best move. Or we can go bishop, queen to d7, winning the bishop. I mean, the most obvious move is never the best move when it comes to puzzles. So I'm just going to go queen to g4. Nice, it is the best move. Now, I do believe we have to make use of the rook. Nice. And now we play like queen takes here. But you're not supposed just to play it. You need to think where the king is going to go. Takes, he might go here. And that's going to be check. He goes here. Another check. I do believe this is the best move. And that's it. That's it. Oh, okay, so I understand now why it is the best move. When the king moves somewhere else, I don't think that there's a mating net, because whenever you use your rook, he can block you. So the main thing about this puzzle is to force the king away, taking here, but the most important thing that the rook is here. So whenever these rooks are connected and they give you some checks, you simply move up. They give you another check, and you simply move here. There are no more checks with the rooks, and you're simply having a queen and a rook versus two rooks, which is a winning endgame. Okay, so now we're going to play another one. The king went to e5. Checks, captures, attacks. Okay, how many checks? We have this check. Simply loses the pawn. We can use our queen to get in. So maybe it's like a hook, but he can run away. So we can take here as well. Check. Let's see. If we made this check, the only square for him is like here. No, sorry, check, he goes here or here. Check, he goes here. We play this check. He can block with the knight. We can also have just check, it's checkmate. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. See what happens when you just overcalculate? The bishop holds these two squares, so the king cannot escape. This square is held by the pawns. And there's nothing to block the queen's vision, so yeah. He moved here, the best move for black. Best move for black. We can try to mate this king, but how? If we take, he's gonna take with the rook. We go here. And he's gonna move back, try to push the pawn. And there is no way to mate his king. Like pushing the pawn, he might take. Not a good move. And pushing here is going to go here, here. I do believe we have to push the pawn instead of taking. But this is going to go here, this, here, this. He makes a queen. It's not about taking. Okay, of course, we're not going to keep trying until we get it right. It's not about taking because simply he can take with a check. And maybe give away the rook because, no, we can still stop him. So maybe he's just going to go all the way back. So it's not about taking. Okay, so what about just pushing f4? But there's this chance to go here, but we go here. So f4, he pushes the pawn. We go rook to h3. He pushed the pawn one more time, and now we push our. And whenever he moves his rook, he loses the pawn. And if he pushes the pawn, we simply take. So what about f4? Okay, so now he's trying to win the pawn and push his two pawns. What about king to g3? Defending and attacking. Here he might go there, and now we simply play this move. Rook to e5. He pushed the pawn, we take here, he push here, we go there. It's not the best move. What if we push? Okay, so now if we push and he goes here, we go here, he goes there, we make a queen, he takes, I take, he makes the queen. So it's not a good thing. How pushing the pawn is best? So we have to stop this pawn, I guess. Oh, so pushing, he might go here, and then we play rook to e8 to stop the pawn from promoting. And then we can go here, and then he has to give away the rook for us. So we go, wait a second, so we push, allow him to go here, here or here? Rook to e8 or rook to h3? If we went rook to h3, how can he stop it? I don't believe he can. I don't know what is the difference between this and this. Both of them are stopping the pawn from promoting. Okay, so he makes the rook, we just take it. He takes here, And now this is winning because the king can now move. These 2 pawns are frozen. We take this one, and we use the rook to win. Okay. Queen to a6. Okay, the knight is defended. We have to look for checks, captures, and attacks. First of all, no checks unless this one, and definitely just loses. Wait a second. Check. He's forced to take with the rook because the king, this is defended. So check, he takes with the rook. We play this check. He's forced to block with the rook. Now we play a check. He blocks with the pawn. Another check. The king's forced to move away, and rook takes d1 is checkmate. Okay, I'm gonna just make it clear a little bit. Checks. Okay, you only have this check. Okay, you might be thinking that this is really bad. You're just giving away your queen. But queen takes. He's forced to take with the rook because the king cannot take. It's already defended. So check. He takes with the rook. Okay, so now the rook is here and our rook is here. We give this check. The king can now move, so he's forced to block back with the rook. And then we use our bishop to attack the king. If the king went to the corner, we simply take. I do believe the best move is queen takes d2. He takes. We give this check. And now we play bishop to h6. And now this, the king moves, and rook takes d1 is checkmate. Nice. He goes b4. Okay. Checks, captures, and attacks. We have this check, but simply loses the queen. Right? We don't have any compensation for that. Queen takes, and rook takes, and simply we're losing this, so not a good move. How about playing a move like, we want to play this, but we need to block the queen's vision of that pawn, defending the pawn. So we play like a move like bishop to c2, blocking the queen from defending. And bishop to c2, he might just take our rook. We play a check. He moves there. We take here, and I do believe it's winning, unless here. Yeah, I do believe bishop to c2. Nice. He goes back with the rook. Okay, so now we just take this. He goes here. And now, what? Like after we take, what's going to happen? After we take, the king, of course, is going to go to the corner. We play like rook here. How to win this? We don't have any discoveries to win the queen because there's a bishop in the way. And sacking the queen, taking with the rook, we take. I'm thinking about rook to d1. Rook to d1. If you have a take, we simply take and he takes. No, it's not a good thing. And queen takes, king takes. Simply not. Or maybe it's winning. Wait a second. We sack the queen to give this check. The king would move. Wait, this is a check. He's forced to move there. Because if he moved here, there's a check and we win the rook. It's not the best move, see, because it doesn't lead to a win because the king can go to g1. Okay, so what about... taking here is just going to take with the rook. I'm just going to play rook to d1. It's not the best move. Oh my god, this is a little bit tricky. What is the best move here, man? Oh my god. Like, what is wrong with me? Rook to d2. Just rook to d2, man. Attacking the bishop. If he went back to defend, simply bishop to e4. Like, if he went rook to g1 and defending, we play bishop to e4, attacking the bishop one more time, and also attacking his queen. And that would be 100% winning. Okay. He pushes the pawn. Checks, captures, attacks. No, we have this check, only check. He takes, we give this check, the king would move away, and we can win the rook back. So we just won a pawn. But is there a way for us to get mated? He gives us a check. Here we go here. He doesn't have any more checks. So sacking the rook, he can move here. But then We just give a check, and we can use our queen. Now, I do believe it's check. He goes here. We give check with the queen. The king would move somewhere else, and we take his rook. He can play this check, and we go here. He takes. He takes with the pawn. I just believe this is the best move. Okay, he takes. Check. There is no checkmates here whatsoever, so we just take the rook. He plays this. Now, what is wrong with taking with the king or with the queen? What's going to happen? If we take with the queen, that's simply blunder because he can go queen to h8, that's checkmate. So we have to take with the king. And that's it. This is winning because we have a rook and a queen versus a queen and a bishop. The rook is much stronger, and like some checks would be just perfect to just swarm the king to the center. Nice. e6. Checks, captures, attacks. Check. He goes here, only move. Then we sack the queen. He takes. We give this check. But the problem with that, the rook is pinned. We give this check. The king moves. Now we take. He plays this check. We block back with the queen. He takes, we take, and he makes a queen. Well, this is a little bit tricky, right? Check. The king would move there. We play this check to force him to block with the queen, and then we take. Oh, so check here. If there was no rook, we could sacrifice the queen, and he takes back, and then we take with the rook, and this is checkmate. But the problem with this, that this rook is being pinned, okay? So we play this check, the king would move away, and now we play queen to e1 check. The king cannot move, he's forced to block back with the queen, and then we take with the queen. Nice. King to g2. Checks, captures, attack. This is the number one check. We have another check. This is more reasonable, but he can go here. And somehow he's safe when we cannot take the knight because it's already protected. So what about this check? He moves here. Okay, so what about a check? He goes here. That's a little bit tricky, right? Taking with the queen is going to go there. And I don't know what to do after that move. And taking, like, and playing this check will not help because he's going to go here, and we don't have any checks on... Oh, wait. Check. He goes here. We have a check on the light square. He's going to go there, and that would be checkmate. So check, he cannot take because it's already pinned. And if check, he goes here. He's simply mated after this move. He needs to block with the knight and takes. The king cannot go here because the knight here is protecting. And this check, knight to e3, he goes here. We play this check. He blocks with the pawn. We simply take it checkmate. And if the king went there, it's also checkmate. So this is how to calculate. The most obvious move, most of the time, it's not the best move. Let me repeat that again. The most obvious move, it's not always the best move. So I do believe it's knight to e3 check. Nice. Now, again, if the king went there, you simply play a check. He cannot move. He needs to block with the knight. We take, and that's checkmate. So that's why he moved to h3. Now, you use your queen. He blocks with the pawn. And if he moved it with the king, this is simply checkmate, defended by the knight. And he goes here. This is checkmate. Nice. He goes here with the king. King to f5. Remember, checks, captures, attacks. We have this check. So we have... Wait a second. We're not going to move. Check, check. These are 2 and 3. 3 checks. Have to choose which one. You don't just make, oh, a check. No, you think. So let's just think for a while. The king cannot go back because of our queen. So I do believe we're not supposed to use the queen for a check to force him into our position. So I do believe it's rook to f3 first. The king moves there. It's simply check. And he might get mated very soon. So I do believe it's check here. He goes there. We cannot use our queen, but like check. He goes here. This is simply check. He goes here. Okay, so we have to calculate all the line, or otherwise we're just moving one movers. Check. He cannot go backward. So check, he only has 2 squares. Okay, let's check here, he goes here. You play this check, he goes there. Wait, check, he goes here. You use the queen, he blocks with the pawn, you give another check, he goes here. You use your rook, it's checkmate. So check, obviously is gonna go there. And then we go check. And the only square for him is to go here. And then maybe we'll play another check. It's not the best move, rook to f3? Oh, wow. So I have to give a check with the queen, forcing him to get in? Oh, we can play this check. Oh, because he can never go there, that would be checkmate. So check, he goes here or here. Then you use your rook, okay. Okay, nice. Rook here. And now we play queen to d3. Now, obviously, how many checks do you have? You have this check. You have this check. You have this check. And you have this check. You have too many checks. And the only way to know which one is best is to calculate. Okay? Obviously, when you play this check, he can try to run away. This one is the same thing. He can run away. This one, like check here, he can block or run away. So you don't want him to keep running away. And this move is the only one that, slice the king. It's, gets him in this mating box. Nice. He moves there. Okay. So h4, it's a check. You have to calculate how many moves you have. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 moves with the king. Okay. If we take, which is the most reasonable move, we are preparing queen to h1 checkmate. And he cannot move. But this, he can play as this check. Okay, so what about moving here? What about moving the king to g4? He doesn't have any checks with his queen. And even if you move the pawn now, this is still checkmate. So again, the most obvious move, it's not the best move. Sometimes it works, sometimes not, but most of the time it's not the best move. And this is going to give us a check. And we have to waste some move. So I do believe it's king to g4. He doesn't have any checks with his queen or anything. And he simply cannot stop queen to g1. I guess he's going to give me the queen. Yes, he's going to give me the queen. And now we don't care, we just simply play the checkmate. Nice. He moved here with the knight. Knight to e6. What is he threatening? There are some checks here. We're moving the defender of the knight. He might take it. And also we might take the bishop, doubling up the pawns. Okay, so we have options here. Do we have checks? Yeah, we have this check. The king would take. Okay, what happens when the king takes? Do we have another check? Yes, we have this check. Can he block? Yeah. Is this winning? No, because we already give a piece for a pawn, so it's not winning. Okay, so what about just taking the knight? We cannot take with the pawn because it's pinned. And if we take with the bishop, he takes us, we take. He takes here, we take. He takes, we take. So everything is defended. I do believe it's bishop to takes e6. He goes here, attacking our queen. And we cannot use the pawn to block. Okay. So we just move away, right? We just move here. We just move away. He takes us, we takes back with the queen, and everything's fine. Nice. He moved here with the knight. Knight to g6, attacking our bishop. Trying to... He doesn't have any checks here. Because, okay, he does have this check. We take, he takes with the queen. But we have to, check. Checks, captures, attacks. We don't have any checks. We have, captures. This capture. Another capture. We don't have any other captures. We only have this capture. And this does not threaten... Oh, it does threaten checkmate. Because when the knight takes, we make another queen. And the king is cornered and checkmate. So we take here. He plays this check. We just simply move away. Doesn't have any more checks. Oh, wait. If queen takes pawn, there are some checks to win the queen, but we take back with the queen. Like, let's say we take this pawn, preparing this checkmate, and promoting to another queen. Here, he's gonna make some checks, opening up an attack on the rook, on the queen, and we simply take back. Like, if the knight was there or there, we simply take with the queen, and we just won a piece, right? He takes back, and I would just simply take with the knight. Perfect. He goes here with a pawn. c5, preparing the bush. c4, attacking our queen. We don't have a mate because the rook is defending that square, so we don't have any checks. We do have this check. Queen to b5 check. Okay, what about this check? What happens if he blocked? If he blocked, we take this pawn. Right? Or wait, let me say check. He goes here, we take this pawn, trying to go for this checkmate. He can now move or stop it. So check. The only move for him, what about going here? We simply take. He's gonna go there. So check. He goes here. Check. He cannot block with the bishop because this is a mating net. He cannot move. But check. He goes here, and now we take here, and he doesn't in time to try to stop the checkmate. But this, he can move his king. And we take, but he can play this check. No, he cannot. So check, the king would move, we take this pawn, threatening this check, but his king can run away. See, that's why there's something wrong, there's something missing. That's why this move does not work, because the king can run away. So there's obviously more forcing move. Oh, instead of going here to go here to force this mating net, you can force it with queen to d6. The king cannot move anywhere, and he cannot stop you from checkmating him on e7. So when you play queen to d6, he's forced to put the rook there to at least pin the queen to the king, and you simply just take it and it's mate. Oh, he sacrifices the queen. Okay, so we take. And if he put the rook there, trying to pin our queen to the king, you simply just take it, protected by the bishop, and it's checkmate. Oh, I was wondering about this to force this, but you can just obviously go to d6. Okay, so he pushes the pawn, preparing to make a queen, checks, captures, attacks. We have this check. The king would move away. We would take his knight, stopping him from making a queen. So check. The only square for him is to go here or give us the rook, but we would simply take and stop him from making the queen. So check, he needs to go there. We're gonna take his knight, defending our pawn, and also defending the promotion square. But he can go there, but no, we can play a check, and oh, it's a little bit tricky. I do believe it's a check, and then we take the knight. He moves here defending. Okay. I do believe we just go here or just here. No. We push the pawn. He can make the queen. We would take. He's gonna take. We're gonna push. And he is in time to stop us from making a queen. So we have to go queen to e1. Queen to e1, stopping there. And we're trying to promote. Whenever he tries to take the pawn, we simply take this one, and it's simply 2 pawns versus 3, and a queen versus a rook. This is a winning endgame. Okay, queen to d1. Checks, captures, attacks. First, check. We have one check, right? Check. He can go here or here. We would have another check, or wait. Check, the king would go here or here. We're going to give another check with the rook. So that would be a mate if he went here. So that's a blunder. So check, he needs to go here. We're going to give a check with the rook. He's going to go here. We're going to give a check with the queen. And if he went here, that's a check. He takes, check, takes. Oh, that's a little bit... Ooh. But I do believe it's a check. Like queen to c8 check. That's a blunder because of rook to c7. The king can now move and he cannot block. It's checkmate. So check, he needs to go here. Now we give another check with the rook. He goes here, only square. We use the queen to give a check. He blocks. That's not a good move. But he moves away. So we're going to try it. Check. See? when you sense there's something wrong with the calculation and the king can escape, that means this is not a mating net. Try it again. Let's try it again. So what about just restricting the king first to try to mate him with the rook? But it needs like 1 move, 2 moves, and 3 moves. What else do we have? Oh, so maybe it's just about winning. No, we cannot win the queen because this, he can just take us here. Okay, that's a little bit... Oh, so bishop to e2. His queen is trapped. That's the thing. He can go here. So we go here. And now we go there. Or we just simply give a check. I do believe we get back the queen one more time. And why did he take? Let's calculate. The queen cannot go here because of the king or here. Cannot go here also because of the king. Cannot go here because of the queen. Cannot go here because of the bishop. Cannot go here because of the queen. Can go here. But the problem with this move, rook to b8 check, and you just win the queen. That's why he just took. You take his queen back, and this is winning. Nice. Another one. He moved his king. Checks, captures, attack. You don't have any checks because insufficient material. You don't have any material. Okay. But the king trying to get to the pawn, and if he takes these 2 pawns and promote his pawn, you're cooked. So you need to stop him from going to g5 to take your pawn here on h2, which your king is really far away to defend, and your bishop is really far away to defend. So what do you do here? I do believe we just play h3. Okay, so now he moved away. Okay, so we move away. Now we can play the move g4 to stop him from moving his king. g4 he cannot take us because the pawn is already pinned. Here, he might go there. We just simply take. He takes. We push the pawn. It's completely a dead position. Nice. And now we just take, and we won a pawn. I don't know why he moved the king. And I will just take with the bishop. Now we have a bastard here, and his knight cannot participate in the game. And this will be perfect. We'll just keep the king there, trying to win the second pawn by rerouting the bishop. And we're going to have 3 on 1 king. He moved a3. And this is very common in rook and pawn endgames. This is devastating because whenever you take, he makes a queen. So there's got to be some way to win on the spot here. As you can see, his king cannot move here or here or here or take any of these pawns. The only way for him to move is going here. Now, we go rook to h1, preparing rook to h5, checkmate, the king cannot move. And if we went here and he makes a queen, we just simply take. Whenever he goes here, we go back. He needs to give us the second pawn. Oh my god, I'm just a bozo. I thought, sorry about that. I just told you this, and I was like, oh my god, a queen, let's just take it. You know, second nature. You see a queen, you take it. Okay, so he goes back, bishop to g7. Do you have any checks? No. Captures, yes, 1 capture. But if we take, and he take, we play a check, the king can run away and attack our king, our rook. So what about a move like g5, rook to g5, or simply queen to g5? I did not see that we have a queen either. Queen to g5, the bishop is pinned. Can he defend the bishop? Don't believe so. Here, he cannot defend the bishop in any way. That is just losing, right? You don't want to do it with the rook because you will simply just win a piece. You want to do it with the queen to simply win the game. So I do believe it's queen to g5. He moves there and you simply just take. Okay, that was a simple one. He goes here with a check. You block with the queen, you lose your rook. You block with the bishop, you lose your knight. So, blocking with the bishop, he might take. You would give a check Obviously, if the king moved to a light square, you just simply, try to pin his queen. Oh, this is a little bit tricky. Which one is worth more, the rook or the knight? I definitely think it's the rook, so we play. And also this knight is serving nothing here. So bishop to d7, he takes us here. You play this check. Okay, that's the correct move. Oh, you just simply rook to c8. He doesn't have any checks and he doesn't have any way to defend the bishop. Let's rook to c8. What? What is that? You just take the queen. Okay. Okay, he moved bishop to e5. Checks, captures, attacks. Check. The king would go here, or would go here, or he would block. And whenever you try to check him, he still can move. So it's not a best move. You need to force a queen trade. That's the best move, I guess. Because you have a passer and you have a passer. The best way to win this is to remove the defender of these two squares that can promote your pawns. So the one way to do this is to give a check first. Check with the queen. The king is forced to move to the 7th rank. Now you play queen to b7 check, forcing him to trade with the queens, and you simply play c takes b7, and you're gonna make a queen, and this will be simply winning endgame. And you play this, and you take this. He's trying to make a queen, but you simply can make a queen first. And whenever he goes here, you simply go back, defending the promotion square, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. Knight to d2, forking the bishop and the rook. We have a chance to take, but let's check. Checks, captures, attacks. You have this check. He can move anywhere else. He cannot go here because that would be a check and that will be more calculation. So check. He might block with the queen, and we simply just take his queen. Whenever he takes, we take here. So it simply will be losing for him. So check. He cannot block. He cannot move the king here. Check. He needs to go here or here. Okay, what about check? He goes here. Okay, you take with another check. The king would move somewhere. So check. He's gonna go here or here. Check, he can block. So I do believe the best move is to take his rook first. He blocks with the queen, so he removed the defender of the knight. So now you just trade the queens, and you take the knight. Whenever he takes, you can simply just take, and this is winning. Okay. So he played knight takes, d3 takes the pawn, and attacking the rook. Checks, captures, attacks. Let's see. We have only one check that blunders the queen. We're not sure that it does blunder the queen because when he takes here, we do have this move, but there's ways for him to just take everything, so it's not a good move. Okay. So not checks. What about captures? We have this capture, but he can just simply take our queen. So we don't have any captures. What about attacks? We can play knight to b5. He can take, but then we take his knight with a check. And this move, if he takes our rook, we simply take. He takes, we take back, still equal. Nice. Nice. So now we're trying to threaten here, but now we can just take with a check. We take with a check. Why? Because when we take here, he doesn't have pawn takes because the pawn is pinned. So when he needs to take with the queen. And you don't take the queen because he cannot take with the pawn, yes, but he can take with the rook. So when you take here, he takes with the queen, you take the knight with a check. And you simply won material here. So he takes with the queen, you take with a check, and you're simply winning here. Okay. What did he do? He took a pawn. So obviously we can just take the queen. And I told you, the most obvious move, it's not always the best move. I'm trying to, I doubt that saying right now. Because it just like seems the only thing that is possible right now here. We do have takes, but he takes our queen. And there's no immediate checkmate. I'm not seeing any checks. Not seeing anything that is useful, so I do believe the most obvious move in this case, it is the best move. Boom! Okay. Bishop to f2 attacking our rook. Okay. We checks, captures, attacks. We have a check. Okay, can he take it? No, he can move away. Okay. We don't want him to move away. So what about another check? The king would move here. We would have this check, and it's checkmate. So check. He cannot block. He needs to move the king there. And now you play bishop to e8, defended by the rook. And this is checkmate because it's slicing and the rook is taking all these squares. So the most obvious move is not the best move in this case. You just play bishop to g5, bishop to e8, and checkmate. He moves a rook to d1. Okay, checks, captures, attacks. We have a check with the rook, which is the most obvious move, and he doesn't have anything except to go here. Okay, what about check with the bishop to h6? He blocks, we take, he blocks, we takes, so it's not a problem. Check. He blocks with the rook. We just take his rook, but I don't believe it's still winning for black. There has to be a winning trick here. There has to be something. Okay. I do believe the best move is to make a mating net, because if you play this check, the king can run away, and you have to trade rooks now. And if you play this checks, if you play this check, he can block with the rook, giving away the rook, because whenever you take, he's gonna take back with the king, and he still have two pieces against one piece. So this is winning for white. So I do believe the best way to win this is to mate the king or making a mating net by playing bishop to c3, holding these two squares, and then playing rook to a1, which will be checkmate. Nice. Even if the king can wait here, the king went here, we just simply play this check. The rook would move, it's not a problem because the check still cannot go here or here. Okay, pawn takes pawn. Checks, captures, attacks. We don't have any checks. What about captures? We have this capture. He would take, we would take. That would be winning for us. Is there any tricks? Might be. Check, check. And if we went here, that would be leading to checkmate. And what about takes? He takes, we take, check. We move away. He gives us another check. We block with the queen. I believe there's something tricky here. But my brain is telling me just to take. Oh, check with the pawn. Okay, so if we take, what's going to happen if we take? He doesn't have any checks on the dark squares. He does have this one. Okay, what about going to a light square? He does have this check. But we block with the queen. But then he can take the rook, and we cannot take because we're already pinned. So we go here. He would give us this check, and then we would take. But then that would be a check. Oh my god, this is so tricky. Check. Shit. Oh, sorry about that. I'm such a bozo here. Just this, check, you block with the rook. Whenever he plays this rook trying to attack the pinned piece, you just play knight to d8. Okay. Oh, he takes the rook. Sorry about that. We just take the queen. He would move there. Just stop this check by going here, and you're simply good. Okay. So he goes king to e4. Checks, captures, attacks. How many check? You don't have many checks. You only have this check. This check just loses the queen. And check. He cannot move. He's only forced to take here. And now you would play bishop check. He's going to go here. You play another check. The king would run away. You don't want the king to run away. So how to mate this guy? Check. I do believe it's the best move just to force him in. And then we play check. He can just take us. And whenever you take, he takes. It's not... There's something here that I cannot see. But what about this check that's made? I did not think about all the check. I only thought about this one to force him in. But this one, it does not work. So you play this check. The knight holds this square, and he cannot block. So after this check, he's forced to move away. And then you might, like, we cannot even use the rook. Oh, come on. But it's the best move. The king can go here, right? Or am I blind? King here, you play this. Oh, and the king cannot move. The king cannot move like this, and this is simply checkmate. c6. The king cannot go here because of the knight, cannot go here or here because of the bishop, cannot go back because of the pawn, he cannot take because the queen is defending. Nice. Okay, so he went bishop to h3, checks, captures, attack. The first check that comes to mind is bishop to rook to g8. He cannot move back because of the knight, and if he went here, well, he's still doing a job. So check, he can just go here. Okay, that seems a little bit off. Okay. So check. I just believe it's the check. Okay. Now what? Now what? We play what? It doesn't seem there's a mate here. What, like knight to g4? He would take, we would take, he's gonna take, and we're gonna take, and there's simply no way to stop us from making the queen. Is this knight to g4? No, it's not. What about knight to f1? He would simply just take us. What about rook here? He would take, we're gonna take with a check. He moves there, only square. But there's no mating net here. Not a move. Not the bishop move. Oh shit. Okay. How to win this game? If we can mate this guy here, but how can we support that square? What about playing knight here? He would take me, and I would push the pawn. He would take, and that would be a check. He blocks, check, he goes here. Not taken with the rook. Taken with the rook is better. Why? Because if he gave this check, you simply go back, opening up a check on him. That's checkmate, actually. That's checkmate. Oh, I see. That's a good one. Okay, so g3 attacking our queen. Checks, captures, attacks. We have this check. You don't say, oh, this is a stupid move because he can just take. Think deeply. Check. He takes. Do you have any more checks? Yes, you have rook to h5 check. The king can move here, and rook to h1 is checkmate. So the most absurd move might be the best move. Nice one. Come on, 2700. Come on, bro. Okay, so he moved here with the queen. Checks, captures, attacks. We have this check and this check, but both of them seems very bad. We have this check. He would take with the bishop, and at least we're gonna win his bishop. We're gonna attack his bishop and attack the pawn, and also attack this pawn here. Seems like a good move. And check forces him to take because the bishop here would be threatening mate with the queen. And if we push the pawn, we're gonna lose the rook. So I do believe this is a problem for us. So playing a check, he's forced to take, or otherwise he's gonna lose his queen. So check, he takes, and now we take here. I do believe it's the best move. No, not the best move. Shit. What about knight takes here? He would take. We will play this check. Oh, this is a fork. This is a fork. He cannot take. That's a check. This is another fork. So knight takes e4, e5. Sorry, he cannot take because that's a check. And he moves the queen, and now we simply take the knight. Should we take the bishop? I believe so. Or there's something. I do believe we just take the bishop. Yeah. There's still moves here. We play this move to win the bishop, and he cannot take because that's another check. Okay, so if he takes, that's a check. He takes back with the bishop or the pawn. We don't care. We just win his queen. So now we just take his bishop, and we're up material. We go back, and perfect. He takes the knight, checks, captures, attacks. Many of you would be tempted to go queen takes pawn, but he can run away. You don't want him to run away. the queen holds this square and this square. So give a check with the bishop, and these are still hold, so he needs to go here. So check, he goes here. You go check, go back, okay? And now he goes here, now check, he goes here, and that's checkmate. Again, it's like bishop takes, he's gonna move here. Now, the reason you don't go here or here or here, you're gonna lose your queen, right? Because whenever you move, it's a check with the queen, so he takes your queen. So you go here. He cannot take your bishop anyway because it's a check with the queen. He goes here, you play a check, he goes here, and checkmate. Okay, so he castled. Checks, captures, attacks. I don't believe we have any checks here. Okay, what about captures? Captures, doesn't seem we have any capture here. So, okay, attacks. We have this move, attacks his queen. So we have this move, attacks his queen. Where is queen gonna go? Okay, so calculate this. The queen cannot take because the pawn is defended. This, he cannot go here because the bishop holds the square. And the knight being here, he cannot go there. And he cannot go here because of the bishop. And he cannot go here because of the bishop. He cannot go here because of the queen. So I do believe this, he's going to go to the only safe square, which is here. And now we play knight to d4. He goes here. I just believe this is the best move. Okay. So here, I mean, this is the only thing that I see, like knight to d4 attacks the queen, and he cannot go there, that's a fork. And if we went here and he goes here, now you just take, and whenever he goes here, that's a fork. Okay, he just takes with the check. Which one to take with? Taking with the pawn will allow him to give a check and win the knight, so you have to take with the queen, not to open up your king. And now, again, his queen is still hanging. He cannot go there, he cannot go here. He can go here. But you simply just save your knight and you just won. Wait, if he went here, that's simply bishop. I still believe, no. If this here, that you're gonna lose this. Okay. Queen all the way back here. Checks, captures, attacks. You have many checks. You have check here, you have check here. You have check with the rook, you have check with the other rook. Now, generally, you want to keep this line hold by your rook, so you want to use the other rook. He's going to block. After he blocks, what do we do then? Okay, so check, he blocks, and we play rook to e1 checkmate because the bishop cannot take, it's already pinned. And the king cannot take us because the knight is defending. And the reason it doesn't work right away because the king can go here. And whenever you go here, I do believe it still works, right? Oh, it's not the best move. The best move is just to go right away. Because now we can use the rook. I'm not sure what is the difference between these two. So let's just check. What is the difference? Let's check what is the difference. If we went rook to d8 right now, giving the queen, we would just take. Putting the bishop, now we play this check. What is wrong with that? He cannot take us. He cannot take the knight because it's defended. What? It's still winning, but I do believe it's like more forcing. Maybe it's more forcing or shorter to win. I'm not sure. So he takes our rook. Checks, captures, attack. Okay, the only check. You have this check, but you just, check. He goes here, and that's simply checkmate. So what about a check? He blocks. This is the only way. Now, you take with the knight, that's a fork. He takes, you take his rook. So, but what about taking with the bishop? He takes. So look, generally when there's no bishop here, simply like knight and a queen, you take here. Threatening to win. Whenever he takes, you take here. But now you can take with the bishop actually, and he can go here actually. No, it's not a winning move because if takes and he takes with the pawn, that's check. He goes here, and this is mate. But if takes, he can just go here, and it's not mate. So we take with the knight. Come on, bro. How this is winning? The king can go here. We don't have this check because of the bishop. We don't have this check because of his knight. Oh, you bozo. I'm sorry about this, guys. king to f8, I did not see the slicing bishop from there. He takes, we take like this, he goes like somewhere else, and this is like completely losing for black. Nice one. Okay, so he goes rook to f1. Rook to f1, checks, captures, attacks. We have check, and we also have check. But this one seems like you're just giving away a piece, so it's not a good move. So we have this check and we have this check. If we go here, he can block, but then he loses the rook, so it's not a good move. So check, he goes here, or he goes here. Now if check and he goes here, you simply give a check with the bishop, and he needs to go back. Oh, that's a little bit weird. Check. Oh, what about this check? We cannot hold this because the queen holds this. It is the best move. Okay. So what to do now? We're getting mated. Like rook to f2. Rook to f2. Why he did not take? What the hell? And now what do we do here? And now we just take the knight. And he doesn't have this check to win the bishop. We can always go back, actually. I'm not sure why he did not take here. Okay, knight to e3, checks, captures, attacks. There are no checks. Well, okay, there's this check, but he can block with the pawn, and you're losing your piece. It's not a good thing. So what about... Okay, we take. He takes with the queen, and now we play knight to d5, attacking the queen and threatening a fork. And the queen cannot go there to defend the square. But after takes, knight, he cannot even go here because the knight holds that square. And the pawn holds the square, so he's losing after bishop takes e3, and now this, and now we just give a check, and we just win the rook. Beautiful. He takes this, checks, captures, attacks. You have this check to force him in. Now you take his rook, he takes your knight, you take his bishop, and this is simply too much material. One. We do take which bishop? That will result in a check. But this is a check first. Now we take his bishop. Perfect. 2700. Boom. Okay, so he castles. Checks, captures, attacks. We don't have any checks. What about captures? And goes here with the rook. So what about playing queen takes? He goes here with the rook, pinning us, so we cannot, take his queen anymore. And this. So what about this? He goes here. We take his queen. He takes us. We just take back. So we just simply won the knight. What? Okay. Oh, shit. Blocking with the queen? But then okay, we block with the knight. No. We force a queen trade to take with the king, so now the bishop will not be pinned. So when we go here, we don't take back with the knight, we just take with the king, and now he cannot pin the bishop. We can always go back or take this pawn. Nice. Okay, so king to g7, checks, captures, attack, check. He cannot block, so he needs to go here or here. Now we cannot give another check. But wait. Check, here or here. Another check, giving away the rook he would take. We can give another check, and when the king moves somewhere else, we take his queen, and we win the pawn to try to go here to win the other pawn and simply promote our pawns. So this is an advantage puzzle, not a winning one. Nice. When he moves the king somewhere, defending the queen, we just take. And when he takes us, we take the pawn, we put the bishop here, take this, promote your pawns, and this is winning. Perfect. Bishop all the way to h4. Checks, captures, attacks. Do we have a checks? Yes, we have this check, but he can just simply take us. Okay. We cannot go here forcing this mate because he can just simply take us. We cannot move the rook because we're going to get back rank mated. Okay. A little bit tricky, right? Oh my god. Queen to e4. The reason why queen to e4, you want to force this checkmate. Okay? And if he like did not take you, he's simply gonna make the queen. And if he went here and he pushes here, he simply take his rook, and this is mate. And if he takes rook to c1 check, he blocks with the queen, you take, he blocks with the rook, he take, and this is simply checkmate. Brilliant! Okay, so I'm not sure what is this. We just take his queen. He takes our queen. We go here. Nice. Nice one. Okay, so he takes our queen. Checks, captures, attacks. Check. We lose this right away. Okay. So this check does not seem promising because he can just take, and whenever we go here, he can move his king. Right? He can move his king. Okay, so is there anything else? What about this move? When he takes us, we play this check. He's forced to go here. We play check, but he can go here. And whenever we take, he takes our bishop. It's not a good move. We can now sack the rook because he can just take us and there's no follow-up. This check he can just take. And we play this check. If he goes here, we play another check, he blocks, and this is simply losing. So is it like rook to f4? We get it checked, but we can simply go to the safety, and this he cannot protect the pawn. It's not the best move. What? This is the best move? Oh, come on. Oh, now he sacrificed the rook. Because when he takes, he cannot go here, and now you just simply give a check like this. Oh, nice. Beautiful one. Beautiful. Oh, shit. How many? I've been solving puzzles for a freaking hour. Perfect. Checks, captures, attacks. Okay, we do have this check. If he takes us, we check. He moves there. We give another check. He goes here. Another check. We cannot mate him because the bishop holds that square. Okay. But we just take here, and we're supporting this as a checkmate. So what about this? Does he have anything? He can take our rook. We don't care because we have this. He block. Oh, you cannot take. He can just take. Oh my god. What about something else? Like, what about rook here? He takes us. Takes. He can just go back. This check. I think this is the best move. He takes. We play check. Yeah, I don't know why it feels so good. Now we go here. No. How to win this now? We sack. He takes. Still not winning. How to win this? How to win this? How to win this? Here, he takes us. We take. He takes. Simply too much material giving. We're not winning this. We cannot go here. Even if he take, he can just take. Oh my god, this is so tricky. Not the best move. Sacking the rook will not give us anything. Okay, too many tries. Is there a way to make this? It's like impossible, man. Impossible. How to do this? Okay, checks, captures, attacks. There are no checks. There is this check, but it doesn't work. Captures, 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 captures. No captures. Okay, threats. Attack his queen. But he can just take us. Going here. No. Oh, here. Oh, here you both. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, but I'm still missing something. Oh my god, this is the trickiest puzzle ever. You just get a draw? No. If you take, he takes, you go here. There's simply no way to win this. And this, we're getting ready to go here, so we just take. And he cannot stop us from making a queen. Oh my god, I just missed that. It took me ages. Okay, obviously no checks here because we cannot teleport. Okay, captures, attacks, no captures. Going here will allow him to go there. What about this move? He goes here, we just simply take. What about this and he takes? We take. He moves his king. Not a good thing. Pushing the pawn, he will take, and we take. He goes here, we go here. I do believe it's the best move here. And now we just take him. That's a draw. Check, he goes here. Wow. Still tricky. So we cannot take because that's stalemate. Check. He will go to the corner being annoying as hell. Check. Okay, so it's not the best move. What about this? He takes, we take with the king. But then he takes it's a draw. What? How to win this? Oh, moving the king, because whenever you take, we still go back to the same square. Oh. What the frick? Ain't no way, bro. Oh! Oh my god, I missed that? I missed that. It's not a draw because there's a pawn move. Oh my god. Now this obviously will be a draw, so we have to take with the king. And when he takes us, opposition, bro. He goes here, we just go here. He goes here, we go here. We force him into like... Oh wait. He goes here, we go here. He goes here, we go here. He goes here, we go here. And now he still needs to move like this, and now we make a pawn. Perfect. Checks, captures, attacks. Check. Block. So check, he blocks. Take, take, take. Check. We go here. We simply want material, right? Fuck. Oh. Taking first. He can now move. He needs to take, and now bishop to c4. He blocks, and it's checkmate. Simple. Nice one. Oh, 2660. What the fuck? Since when I went back to 2665? Okay, checks, captures, attacks. No checks. What about captures? We have this capture. Here, white take. We take here, attacking his rook. The rook would move. That's a check, and we win the bishop. Okay, so he's going here. To win the bishop, we just completely go back. And now we take. He won the pawn, but he lost the piece, so it's not a good thing for him. He takes us. Checks, captures, attacks. Taking here. K. Taking. He's gonna go here. Don't believe it's a good move. What about this? This we just simply take. This. What about this? He needs to take with the king. No. I do believe we have to take here. Not the best move. Shit. Okay. What? Oh, now taking. And whenever he moves away, I do believe we just take his rook. He doesn't have any threats here because we can simply just take. Nice one. Okay, so bishop here. Checks, captures, attacks. No checks. I don't believe so. No captures. We have one capture. It's not a good thing. Takes. Threats. Threat. Okay, so we have queen to c6 with the queen. We're studying checkmate. Can he stop it like this? No, we can just simply take. So this, he needs to go like this. But what does it win? It doesn't win anything. But I do believe it's just still... Oh, it is the best move. And now we play a check. No. Oh, you just play this check and win the bishop. Oh my god. Damn. I'm missing too much. Okay, check. Captures, attacks, checks. The only check is here. This one does not work because too many things can take it. We only have this check as well. So check. but the king can get in. We'll play another check. So what about going here? He goes there. That's checkmate. No, he can go here. So we need to hold these squares. How? Oh, we take. If he takes with the queen, that's simply check and we win his queen. But simply he has too much material. This he takes with the king. Not the best move. See, I told you it's not the best move. Check here, and check here. Yeah, but what about this? Where's the mate here? Oh, the mate is here. Nice one. Okay, so that was it for today's video. I was just solving some puzzles, helping you like seeing what is the most important move, which is like checks, then captures, then attacks. And there's a difference between forcing moves and just candidate moves. Candidate moves are simply just a move that you can choose from, a couple of moves that you can choose from, and that's it. It's like moves in the opening, in the middle game to activate your pieces and stuff. But the forcing moves are all about puzzles. This is why I only gave like 1 minute for the just these moves, like the first category, and I gave like in almost 1 hour and 10 minutes for just puzzles and just forcing moves, because they are the most important thing. This is why we get better at chess, because we can see further, we can force moves to win the game and see patterns. This is the most important thing. This is why I gave it an entire hour. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was valuable to you. I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.